Good morning, friends. Today we are going to learn that writing for electronic media. Before going to start actual topic, first of all, we'll get the information about this. What is electronic media? Electronic media is actually advanced form of media. It creates, accesses, and disseminates data or information. It uses electronic technology to communicate with the target audience, and it is much faster and reachable. So you have so many electronic medias nowadays in fashion, television, mobile, radio, computer, all the devices using digital transmission. What are the features of electronic media? In electronic media, you require wide range of very right vocabulary, simple and brief language, objective and clear thoughts, and accuracy also. You need to be very responsible in writing. And before going to publish anything, check plagiarism, whether you have copy pasted some content as it is and you are not creative and original one, that can be harmful for the purpose. So copyright rules and licensing is also very important when you go for this type of media. What are the fundamentals of this type of writing? You should focus on language ability. You need to very planned with your thoughts and ideas. Corrective, correct method of description and very expression is needed. In this type of writing, you should be very realistic and original, and no plagiarism should be there. The draft should be revised for the purpose, and we need to consider the audience. So we need to avoid some controversial statements also. Original models are required for this writing, and licensing terms are very important in this type. So what are the types of content writing for electronic media? If you want to write for electronic media, which types are needed? See, the first is news column, then social media, e-brochures, featured articles, web content, scripts for documentaries, informational procedures, content for describing objects, commodities, products, open educational resources, then advertisements, and one more, that is blogs. So now you all know about the importance of electronic media because it is the dominant media nowadays and it is fastest growing fields in the world. It is advanced form of media. So it is ahead of print media nowadays. Now we'll discuss one by one this, what is news column, what is social media, what is e-brochure and all. And what are the requirements, what are the features of these things. The first is news column. When you write news columns, that time you should always give the reader very right information, timely and helpful information, very comprehensive information. So writing for column, one should develop a structure for that news report. Your language should be very simple, lucid. Short sentences and paragraphs are required. You should provide local names, places, people concerned to that report to make it very, very reliable, credible, acceptable. So this is a required thing or that prerequisites for writing news column. The second is social media. When you write for social media, first of all, what is the difference between that social media and messaging apps? Nowadays you are using WhatsApp, Telegram. These are apps which you use for messaging purpose, and in this you can share and receive messages, files, images, videos, documents. It is in private manner, but there are other means some that medias, social medias which you can use, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, etc. And it is comparatively vast to this messaging apps. So you can find millions followers on this social media. So now messages for social media, what it requires. In this again you require that very clarity, very simplicity, the awareness of audience, then right spellings, and you should be aware of your tone. It should not hurt anybody, or there should not be any contradictory statement while you write on social media. So writing for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, there you need to consider these things. Now come to the that e-brochure. E-brochure is very effective type of writing. In this, your brochure should be very eye-catching, and it is actually that skill and art you need to know. While writing an e-brochure, one should plan first and always write a compelling and eye-catching headline. It should be concise and very with limited words. Step-by-step writing should be there. Provide very comprehensive information, and before going to publish, that proofread is needed. So don't miss anything important like dates, place, when you to provide in that brochure before finalizing. So that it's very important to look into that very minute before going to publish e-brochures. Then blogs. Nowadays blogger is very challenging job. You know that. Writing for the self is okay, but if you are writing for others, that time you should be very cautious. You need to understand the requirements of audience, their likings, dislikings, attitudes. While writing blogs, you need to consider these things. If you want to become professional blogger, that time always try to keep in mind your audience and select the proper theme for your blog. Select the topic which is effective, precise one, and write on that very systematically and professionally. So the content or context of author should not be pasted in your blog. Be original, use quotations, and use so many different pictures in that so that you can be the famous blogger. So licensing is also important in blogging. Plagiarism is there, that is a very important factor that should be considered in this particular type. Then you have that next, featured articles. If you go for featured articles, you need to know so many things. You should be always updated and aware of current scenario. And while taking up any topic for featured articles, you should be careful about selection of topic, title of topic, effectiveness of topic. So when you select topic, that time don't forget that one is presenting for, you are presenting for readers. So always try to consider these things: who, what, when, where, how, and why should be addressed. So you can write well, have proper middle, end, and beginning, and try to reread. Don't do copy paste, and always try to be original. So in this way you can even edit and proofread. You can add value to that. Added value is necessary. So in this way, this is very important type of writing, featured articles. So web content. If you have your own business, you require to publish something on your website, and if you don't write effectively, you cannot do good business for your organization. So trying to establish your business and make it more popular, you need to have website, and web content should be developed properly. In that way, unnecessary data should be removed from that website time to time. So changes are required when you have such type of website. Web content is there, always should be changed according to the need. So scripts for documentaries. If you go for scripts for documentaries, you need to have very cautious way of writing. So Non-fiction movie, documentary means non-fiction movie, and in this you need to use language which should be very attractive one, and if you write well you can attract people for documentaries also, your documentaries also. Next is informational procedures. So many times you write to give some procedure. If you write for this type of write, that e-content development, that time two things should be considered, that how to make something and how to do something. You are providing some information that regarding to the procedure, so that in this some tips can be helpful. So first of all, write the title of the procedure, then give the brief introduction and description, then start action words and sentences for that, then be precise and short, don't write long paragraph, and revise your drafts. Then share with your colleagues, ask them for their comments, and do the corrections, get the approval of authorities, and then go for publication. So this is for informational procedures. You can follow these tips for that successful writing. Then the next one is content for describing objects, commodities, and products. The world nowadays has become a global village, and it has opened doors to international business establishments to market their products all over. So describing objects, commodities, or product has gained importance in the last few years. Online shopping platforms like Amazon, Flipkart, OrderMe, Big Basket, etc. introduce their products in such a way that consumers are attracted to it. They can know about features and qualities of these products, and with this description, they can know about all that is needed. They can get images, videos, prices, specifications, utility descriptions, comparisons, reviews of experts and users. So with this they can easily purchase the product. So when you want to get such type of information, you or if you are going to write, these are the tips you can follow. Know your audience, know the product, write in brief or short way, give the images, short videos for that, and very important information should be provided with specifications and experts reviews from that comments from users also. So next and very important is open educational resources. Very important, because we are related to that educational sector where these that electronic media playing very important role. You know that Wikipedia is open educational resource. It's freely accessible. You can go for, you can search the text. So openly licensed text media are there. You can avail these things. So these are assets actually. The term OER describes publicly accessible materials, like you have so many things nowadays available. So people, educationalists, academicians, teachers, learned people are constantly searching such information, knowledge, experience, observation, research. And for that they are accessing internet. So Google is there, you know that. There are different types of OER. Online texts are there, ebooks are there, courses are there, multimedia contents are there, electronic educational data is there, learning management systems are there, then supplementary materials are there. When you are writing for OER, the time you select the topic according to your expertise. Then start with a broad view and narrow down the concept, mention aims and objective. Then consider the hypothesis clearly, develop content, avoid plagiarism, provide accurate material or that information, address the topic completely, ensure the citations which are provided, quote as needed, avoid incomplete sections. So this is all about open educational resource, very important nowadays, you should know about. And finally that is advertisement, and if you go for the writing this advertisement, that time you should be very good at writing. So effective language is needed, good headlines, credibility, then simple language, statistical data, all these things are expected in this. So advertisement content writing has nowadays in fashion or it's in limelight, and creative writers are in demand. Innovative ideas are required for advertisement purposes. So I'll stop here. This is all about writing for electronic media.